What is going on, everybody? This is Jackson Voles from JD Sports Zone, and today I have another special interview. West Virginia Black Bears, Tulane alum, and now a Cleveland Guardians prospect pitcher, Wes Burton. Wes, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this. And how's your day going, man?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you on. Now, I want to start off with your collegiate career before we get into the pro ball side of things. You started off your career at Ole Miss. You also made stops off at Indiana and Tulane. I want to ask you, every high school pitcher looks to go to the D1 level or their first, stop in collegiate ball. What made you want to choose Ole Miss as your first destination?
It was just a dream out of high school to get to play at the highest level of collegiate baseball. And truthfully, growing up, I didn't know much about the SEC. I couldn't point to Mississippi on a map, truthfully, let alone Oxford. But took a visit there and really fell in love with the place and just had an incredible experience in my 3 years there.
Mm. And I mean, I'm glad you had an incredible time at Ole Miss and SEC ball, and that's high level competition. Honestly, I would say it's pretty comparable with minor league ball, because you have a lot of draft eligible talent over there. But I do want to ask you this because in this new era of, the NIL space and the transfer portal, a lot of people have different experiences navigating the transfer portal, and you transferred, a couple times, as I mentioned before, Indiana Tulane. What was the transfer portal and I guess collegiate experience, from schools and different acclamations like for you?
Yeah, I think it's changed a lot over the years and even over my time in college, the game has really shifted. From the start of my collegiate career, NIL wasn't really a thing at all. And then now that's such a driving factor in a lot of decisions that get made between revenue sharing and NIL. I think it's fantastic that student athletes have an opportunity to be compensated for their talents, for their name, image, and likeness. And I think that's fantastic. I think um, it's always been a business, and so the fact that student athletes get to benefit now as a part of that is really awesome. As far as my journey, I was blessed to go to three amazing schools and to graduate from three amazing schools, and that's something I take a lot of pride in, having left each place as an alumni. And so it's definitely been a unique journey, but one that I'm super grateful for.
And it's cool to hear the different experiences from, collegiate pitchers and collegiate athletes in general getting the opportunity again to play in SEC ball, Big Ten ball, and even American ball with Tulane. That kind of leads my next question because I was looking at your resume when it comes to stat reference and stuff like that on different collegiate stops, and you had the well, I mean, you played during COVID, the COVID
Yeah.
era inside of things of that. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was a unique time, especially starting my college career right before COVID hit, and then seeing sort of how collegiate athletics handled that. And I was super fortunate. I thought at Ole Miss we handled it incredibly well. Our administration there was just incredible in terms of keeping the student athletes safe, but also giving us the opportunity to get back on campus pretty quickly and get back to work. It was just incredible, and um, so massive thanks go to everybody in the administration for that and how they handled all the uncertainty of everything. A lot of difficult decisions I'm sure they had to make, but um, no, it's the game. The game changed a lot over my 3 years at Ole Miss, and going from packed stadiums to empty stadiums to partially filled stadiums, then back to packed stadiums was interesting and definitely a different and kind of unique experience.
I want to stick on the collegiate route of things, especially with that. And you talk about packed stadiums, really cool, even on the field moments during your collegiate career, and maybe off the field moments with teammates. So I want to ask you about your favorite on the field moment and off the field moment during your collegiate career. It could be with teammates, it could be with not, but what are some of those for you?
Yeah, gosh. I mean, I think as I reflect on my journey, the moments that stand out are less of the on-field ones and more of the moments off the field with buddies, whether it's us going to get ice cream after a game or just hanging out in the locker room after a game, or maybe we're on the road somewhere and walking around some place we've never been before and exploring and things like that. I think those are the memories that really stick out, and the the connections that you make with your teammates and your coaches and the support staff and everybody. it's a really unique experience. So that's, I think, the thing that jumps out most about my journey is just the connections and um, the standout kind of off-field moments more so than the on-field ones.
I mean, that's truly what it's all about, having a good group of guys around you to maybe keep your head afloat during tough times, especially as a collegiate athlete, having to balance, the academic side of things while also going to practice and preparation and workouts or going onto the field, in late night games, especially midweeks and weekend series and things like that. So it's great to hear that, you had a good group of guys around you for that. But I want to stick with the preparation talk of things because now you are a minor league prospect with the Cleveland Guardian system. By the way, congratulations on the recent signing with that.
Thank you
So
so much.
yeah, I do want to ask you this. I want to kind of more stick with the college side of things with the summer ball leagues and stuff like that. I mean, with the summer ball leagues, how did that prepare you for your now stint with the Cleveland Guardians and with the Howlers ball experience?
Absolutely. I think collegiate summer ball really has a unique way of kind of revealing to you if baseball is something you really enjoy doing. And in contrast to kind of non-student athletes who look at summer as vacation and you get to hang out and have this free time away from classes, like for a lot of college baseball players, that's an opportunity to go to work and go off and play summer ball. And I was super fortunate to have opportunities to play in the Happy League, to play in the Cape Cod League, to play in the Northwoods League, and to play in the MLB Draft League, four of the kind of premier collegiate summer ball leagues. And I really left each of those experiences feeling like this was the life I wanted to live. And playing in the Northwoods League, I think we had a stretch of 22 games in 21 days. I'll let you do the math on that one. I think we started with a doubleheader and then went for 3 weeks straight. Um, but it really reveals to you whether you enjoy going to the park every day and putting in the work. And I really left those experiences struck by how much I loved it and how much I loved that process. And even just in the 3 weeks or so that I've been here with the Hill City Howlers, my first experience in affiliate ball, like I just love living this life, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to live this life and really just enjoy the heck out of it.
I mean, I think that's definitely what it's all about, the preparation, the mental grind, because a lot of people outside of the realm of baseball who maybe are just fans don't realize how much preparation and mental and physical stress it puts on an athlete. And again, Jay Jackson says a lot of great things about you. You're one of the hardest workers during the whole Black Bears part of the summer league. And, again, he's super excited for when this comes out. And I think it really shows in your talent, man. And I think you did very well in the summer league and, collegiate and up to this point. And again, congratulations on the signing with the Cleveland Guardians and hope to see you on a big league mound soon. So we can, get the Wes Burton experience in progressive field. I would love to see that out there. But I want to ask you
Thank you
this.
so much.
Yeah, yes, sir. And I want to ask you this because Jay Jackson told me to ask this question to all of his Black Bears guys. So I want to ask you, what did you learn from Jay Jackson during the MLB Draft League and I guess, his coaching mindset side of things and what were some of the best moments during that draft league?
Gosh, how much time you got? I could go on for hours about what I learned from Jay. And I mean, truly, he had such a huge impact on my career, and I think helping me to reveal the confidence and belief that I already had in myself. And I think that's one of the things that um, is such a magical skill for him as a coach is his ability to connect with players and help reveal to them what's already inside of them. Um, and I think he has such a unique talent and unique gift in that. But learning from obviously his incredible track record, his incredible playing career of being here, there, and everywhere and pitching at the highest level, whether that's in MLB in Japan, but just learning from his experiences and talking about the routines of the day-to-day preparation, like we just talked about. It is a grind going to the ballpark each and every day and finding a way to get better. And that was something that we talked a lot about was just how to craft those routines and how to, even if it's just the tiniest improvement each and every day over the course of a long season, whether it's 130 something games here, whether it's 162 at the big league level, just stacking those small gains on top of each other. That was that was one of the biggest things. But gosh, I'm so in debt to Jay for how much he taught me, and just what an incredible experience we had together.
And I'm glad to hear, the mentality and mindset being implemented across pitchers, across the staff. Jay Jackson, he puts a lot of his positive mindset, and I'm glad that it put effects off on you, especially during the later half in the draft league and that side of things. And, he continues to do that with the Smile Zone app and his whole mindset of things. And I'm glad that, kind of rubbed off on you. But I want to ask you kind of a fun question to the side
Yeah.
of things because you're 6'8". 230 pounds, if that's correct, to stat reference. And
Yep.
I've never met a pitcher personally as tall as you. How do you
Mm.
use your size and height to your advantage to, I guess, the versatility of mixed pitches, pushing that across the plate? Or is that a myth from an outsider's perspective of being a 6'8" pitcher?
No, absolutely. It's something I try to use to my advantage, and I'm so fortunate that God blessed me with this frame, and it's something in the way that I throw the ball. I'm able to create really unique angles and throw the ball from a higher release point and extend down the mound further. So I'm throwing the ball from closer to the plate, which helps my velocity play up. And throwing the ball from such a high release point off the ground is it's a place that hitters often train their eyes looking at the same kind of windows, expecting the ball to come out of the same spot because for the most part it does. And so as a relief pitcher, if I can come in and the first couple of pitches out of my hand they don't see because they're looking at the wrong spot, that's a big advantage for me. And so I try to make use of my frame and make use of the gifts that God gave me.
Man, I wish I was as tall as you, man, and yeah, athletic build. Personally, I'm 5'10", not very gifted in height as you are, but it's really cool to have that kind of skill set and a guess pitch of keeping the batters guessing in different release points and a mixture of pitches inside of that. So that's actually a really cool, fact to hear. But I want to ask you some more fun questions because
Yeah.
I want to talk about the transition from collegiate ball to summer league, and now your first stint in the minor leagues with the Cleveland Guardians. What's been the biggest transition or adjustment within like the first few games with the Cleveland Guardians high A team?
Yeah, I think honestly the biggest thing that stood out from spring training was just the amazing resources that we have at our disposal, and whether that's the technology and the food and the supplements and stuff like that, but more so I think the personnel and the amazingly talented and gifted coaches and trainers and support staff. And I mean we've got a small army of people on our player development team that are all here to help get everybody better and help us ultimately in our goal of winning a World Series for the Cleveland Guardians. And it's just amazing, and I'm so fortunate that um, they treat us as well as they do, and that they invest as much in us as they do. And it's been incredible.
I'm glad you're getting very treated well and acclimated to the minor league system. Because one of our I'll go to West Georgia, and one of the alums here just signed with the Baltimore Orioles, Brendan
Mm,
Parks. He played in the Trenton
mm.
Thunder, for a little bit. So it's really cool to hear, all the MLB draft league guys getting signed to Major League and living out their full dream of playing professional baseball and especially with the Cleveland Guardians side of things. So I want to ask you a fun question to Mount Rushmore relating to the Cleveland Guardians. Do you have a Mount Rushmore of Cleveland Guardians?
Oh, that's man, you're putting me on the spot there. I will I'll go. This is my Mount Rushmore of my friends in the Cleveland Guardians organization so far. And so I mean the first two got to throw on there is we had a little trio of us in our apartment in spring training. It was myself and Jay Driver and Josh Hartle. So I'll throw those guys on there. Uh, Matt Wilkinson, Tugboat, as he's known online, Team Canada rock star. He was frequently in our room, so I'll throw those guys on there.
I mean, honestly, I'm glad you went with a lot of local teammates because whenever I ask the question, people are gonna name like the casual Hall of Famers. So I'm glad you incorporated the guys you had the time in spring training with. That actually kind of leads to my next question. How was spring training personally for you?
It was an incredible experience and just something that I dreamed of. But um, no, I mean, getting to go to a beautiful facility every day, getting to interact with such amazing teammates, such amazing coaches and trainers, and I mean, just everybody associated with the organization is just first class. And so to have that opportunity to wear that uniform and to be a part of such a great organization was just a tremendous blessing and a really great introduction into the world of affiliate baseball.
That's awesome to hear. Honestly, I've been to a couple spring training games. I'm a Cardinals fan, so not a lot to look forward to for the MLB season as a outsider perspective and a fan. But honestly, I love to hear the cool stories from all these major league players and their spring training days, and a future major league player in Wes Burton,
Mm.
heading out there. So want to manifest that and shout out, your talents for the Cleveland Guardians, and that's really cool to hear an experience kind of like that. But I want to throw it back to the preparation side of things, and I want to ask a fun question relating to that. We talk about the mental grind, we talk about the physical grind, but I want to ask you pre-game karaoke or pre-game songs you like to listen to heading out to the field before each game. Maybe it changed from collegiate days to summer ball days to now, but what's your go-to artist and go-to songs you listen to?
It's definitely changed over the years. I think back in the day it was a lot more rap, a lot more kind of pump up. I feel like everybody had the Eminem like super hardcore pump up music going on. I got into a little bit of a Tate McRae kick last
Mm.
summer. So totally switching gears. But I'll vibe with some Tate McRae a little bit pregame. Kind of gets me in the right frame of mind.
I can imagine a walkout song with Greedy by Tate McRae and Wes Burton's walking out to the mount. Do you guys have walkout songs
Bring it.
in that with the Howlers?
We do. I've kind of long time walked out to "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana. So that one's started that when I was at Ole Miss, and I've kind of kept it going. So I've got that rocking again this year.
Are you a superstitious athlete when it comes to keeping the same pregame songs and stuff like that?
I wouldn't say superstitious. I would say that I enjoy my routine and I feel that my routine prepares me well. And so from that perspective, I like my routine. I like to keep it consistent, but I'm not married to it. It's not a crutch.
I mean, I ask a lot of draft league guys and baseball players. They say they have the same song, same meal. Somebody said that they walked out to ocean sounds before each game. So
Mm,
it's great to hear the different avenues. And honestly, Tate McRae, if it equals strikeouts, then yeah, I'm gonna listen to Tate McRae if it equals strikeouts
come on,
there.
baby. Come on,
Yeah.
baby. She is incredibly talented. So I enjoy my Tate McRae tunes before the game.
Yeah. Honestly, I enjoy a little Tate McRae. I'm never gonna admit that, but this is gonna be out on YouTube, so they'll find it somewhere. My friends are gonna find it somewhere, so it doesn't matter at this point. But I want to ask you kind of like a pregame snack, or like outside of meals you ate with the teams in collegiate days or the draft league days. What is like a go-to fast food restaurant that you have maybe found in the Howlers area, or just something you're a big fan of?
Yeah, not so much. I'm not a huge fast food guy, truthfully, but they take care of us on the nutrition side. We've gotten kind of nothing but great meals since we've been here, and I guess the one thing I do enjoy is I love a good kind of smoothie bowl, a little acai bowl, something up
Mhm.
there. So I enjoy one of those. So I guess that's my answer there.
Mm. Yeah, in the South, they have a lot of acai bowl places. I've never heard of it before until I moved down here a few years ago. And,
Yeah,
I like to incorporate a lot of granola, fruit,
yeah.
vegetables. Yeah, I mean, honest, what's your go-to acai bowl? I'm gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, I think just the standard base. I'm big on some strawberries. Give me some bananas on there, a little honey drizzle, maybe some blueberries in there. That's really In my Wes's perfect acai bowl. I think that's what we're looking at. Maybe some granola too. Not too much though on the granola. I don't like it. I feel like sometimes the granola makes it a little too sweet, you know.
Mhm. And I think
So
acai bowls equal strikeouts. So if anybody's watching and want to get some strikeouts in their minor league days, eat some acai bowls. But Wes, two final questions for you, very quick before I end off this interview. We talk about idolizing pitchers and MLB people growing up and throughout your collegiate and professional career. Who was that pitcher for you?
yeah, I don't think there was one specific pitcher. I think growing up in Los Angeles, I got to see Clayton Kershaw's career. And I think there's a lot to love about his career and the progression in his career, how kind of coming up from the minor leagues as a high school guy, as a kind of hard throwing left-hander that didn't have much pitchability, didn't have a huge mix, and seeing how he kind of evolved a couple of times throughout his career, I think was really cool. I love Max Scherzer's intensity. I think there's something to be said for that. But another pitcher I loved growing up was Tim Lincecum, and I try to rock number 55 when I can. I rocked 55 all through college, and that was a little bit of an ode to that. So, couple good names to throw in there for you.
Yeah, I can see some. I've been watching your pitching form, and it kind of resembles a little bit of Tim Lincecum. So, honestly, I love to see it there. And
You can tell who I was watching growing up for sure.
I'm assuming you're a Dodgers fan.
Grew up as a Dodger fan, but now I'd like to say I'm a diehard Cleveland Guardians fan.
I like the answer there. I like the answer there. Personally, again, Cardinals fan, Dodgers, they win too many World Series. If you, I can't trust anybody who really says they're a Dodgers fan because you never know if they're a true Dodgers fan. But I believe you're a true Dodgers fan and Cleveland fan now. So big shout out to that. But Wes, final question for you, and I love getting this answered because you recently found out that you were being signed by the Cleveland Guardians. After your whole championship run with the West Virginia Black Bears. How did
Yeah.
you find that out? And like, where were you and when did it happen?
Yeah, so it was kind of a fun story. So they had seen a video of me online throwing in a like a pro day kind of showcase event. They had reached out to my agent afterwards and wanted to come see me throw, and they sent a scout to see me throw the next week. And a couple days pass, and sitting at the kitchen counter, get a call from my agent, and he's just like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, I'm like, "Good, man. How are you?" And he's like, "Well, I got some good news for you. The Cleveland Guardians are going to sign you." And so that was a pretty electric conversation. I think he told me afterwards I about blew his eardrum off with my excitement on the phone, which was a good time. But needless to say, I was pretty fired up about it. But that's how I found out.
Well, I'm glad you're excited, and I manifest a lot of great things coming for you in the minor league days, and hopefully a smooth path to the major leagues, and the whole grind over there. And Wes, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this, and big shout out to you, and big shout out to Jay for giving me a recommendation for interviews. So I truly appreciate your time, and best of luck in the rest of the season with the Howlers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.